And here we are. So yeah, we're talking today about wellness, purpose, and abundance as a lifestyle, and basically kind of telling our stories of how we found our way here. And then, we'll open it up and listen to other people's stories, because we definitely want to hear your questions or your stories. So, Kim, do you have any quotes that you want to open with? Or?
Oh, duh. Okay. I put my glasses on. Okay, I did a Periscope the other day on the lost glasses. They're not lost. They are here. But there's a really good one by Richard Schultz. And he says, the first step in natural healing is responsibility. Natural healing is about taking control of your life and being responsible for everything. That means everything that goes in and out of your body, mind, and spirit. And because of the topic, where we're talking about purpose and abundance, I thought this was a good one by Oprah Winfrey, that she says, tune out the naysayers, tune into your own courage, take a bold step toward the passion-filled life you really want. So I'm sure I'm going to have other quotes throughout, but
no, those are
really we're opening. Yeah.
Very appropriate. Very appropriate. So, I think it's interesting because I know before I started this path, I really didn't care too much about my health. It was actually all about my dogs. I cared about theirs, but I didn't really care about mine. And but I know for me, I started doing a lot of research because I had a little dog named Mischief that was just constantly sick, and nothing was really working for him. And so I started doing a lot of research, and then I found Animal Talk Naturally, which I was like, it was everything I was looking for. I was like, oh my gosh. And Kim, you and Dr. Jeannie, I know, headed that up. And I just, you guys just shared information that was, to me, it just made such simple sense that I don't know how I didn't know about it earlier. But yeah, so it went in stages with me. It was all about my dogs and transitioning them and their nutrition first, and everything else followed. But you started sharing, and others were coming on there and sharing this wellness complement to the whole health approach, because that's another thing that you guys talk about. It's a whole health.
Yeah.
And
I'm not sure people understand what whole health really means these days. If we say holistic, people get it. So I think I could define, because I've defined it so often, holistic.
Yes, do it.
Which I think it's been taken really out of context and it's been really overused. And I think everybody just think it means, anything natural or even integrative. However, it doesn't mean mixing, pharmaceuticals with nature's remedies. It's either one or the other. So you know how I feel about that, Kathy, that I'm not an integrative person, and I'm not saying that we can't use both. I'm just saying that this mixture isn't valid. It's one or the other when you need one or the other. And actually, whole health is health, period. And the other is really sick and emergency care is what it is. But holistic means, quite simply, all parts, mind, body, spirit, working together interdependently, meaning dependent upon one another as a whole, as a center in synergy as a whole. And when one part is out, mind, body, or spirit, when one part is out, the rest is out and imbalanced. And the thing that people don't know, as we talked about on the last blab, is our emotions can cause, and let's say we have an accident, we hurt ourselves, or you get in an accident and you're hurt, or you fall and you're hurt, or your feelings are hurt, whatever, those lodge into our body and manifest as physical things that are wrong with us. Mm-hmm. And we have tools that will bring us back into a harmony, back into synergy, back into balance, so that we are holistic. And that's what that really means. It does not mean There's no such thing as a holistic dog food or a holistic, whatever. It doesn't make any sense when you understand the meaning of that word. So sorry, go ahead now.
No, and then I'm so glad that you brought that up because, it's something that I learned from you because I didn't understand it either. And another thing that I love that you shared was the 8 laws of health, which is so important with our health and really with all the species, right?
Following. You can use an acronym to remember it. It's just New Start. So nutrition according to species needs. And for animals and humans, anything in a bag or a can is processed. Junk food, not food. It's food-like substance, right, Kathy?
Absolutely.
Not real food. So it's created, manufactured stuff. So nutrition, exercise, not optional. Water without the toxins in it, fluoride and chlorine included, and especially sunshine. Yeah, we need sunshine. Sunshine is not bad for us. Baking in it and burning it, it's bad, but getting tan and color in it is good. Our bodies need it to manufacture.
That vitamin D bath, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. And supplements when needed nowadays because everything's so deficient, from the soils being completely deficient through every single animal, plant, everything as a result of that soil being deficient, unless it's being organically raised and nurtured back into that proper balance without toxins like pesticides and herbicides and chemical fertilizers and so forth, then everything's going to be in balance. So we do need to often supplement, and I say whole food supplementation. And then we need to do all things in moderation, or temperance, which is an old word. So T for temperance or moderation. Fresh air. Good luck with getting that nowadays. So we improvise with diffusing essential oils and, using an air purifier in my home. Let's see, what else? Rest, and without all the electronics all around you and lights on and noise and sounds and stuff, quiet, dark, peaceful, especially animals need that. We do too, but animals really do. And then trust those other previous laws. For me, it's trusting God, trusting the divine. So trust those to work, because people panic when the body starts detoxing and all that. That's wrong. Got to go get a drug for that, fix that. No, you got to trust those laws are working. Your body's working, right? So.
Yeah. And I think that is so cool. And that's a cool acronym because it is easy to remember and to apply that as much as possible into our everyday. Absolutely. So I really enjoyed learning that, and that was part of it. And I know that when you started talking about, well, first it was nutrition is like the foundation.
Always. It's always.
And it's funny because so I was doing that for my dogs. I finally got it, and so I transitioned them into raw. But I was still eating crap. Mm-hmm. I wasn't there yet. And so it's interesting how it goes in phases.
Don't you think sometimes people will start with them? I know people who would totally do it with themselves and disconnect and don't connect any dots with their animals. Or people totally get it with their animals, but totally disconnect with themselves.
Yeah.
So we have, so it's always a segue. I've had people who have worked with me, Kathy, and figured out, hey, if this is working for my dogs, what about me? Or people that have said, hey, this is, I'm doing this for myself. What about my pets? So light bulbs go on as they journey in that wellness focus. Then it becomes a purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so cool how that flow goes.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. Yeah. And I remember that then you guys were sharing and having different other people come on the show and sharing about essential oils and just great benefits with that. And I know at first when I was listening to that, I was like, essential oils? Because to me, I thought it was something you bought at Target and you dumped on your potpourri to make the house smell nice.
Smelled pretty, right? Yeah. Well,
I didn't use it for that. Yeah. So I was just couldn't wrap my head around it at first. I'm like, really? Like, I didn't understand it. But the more I listened, the more I heard, I thought, it's time for me to try this out. And I know that you mentioned that you're what rocked your world, but I remember when I received them. So I bought them for my dogs. And I ended up getting curious about one, and it was called Peace and Calming.
Ah.
Yeah. And I remember when I opened it, I thought, oh, this stinks. I was like, I don't think I could do this. I remember thinking that. And
I think there's a really good thing to share about why that is so. I've got that quote by Dr. Stewart. And
awesome. Perfect.
Yeah. And I can grab that here. I can't stand that smell is the name of this particular graphic that, somebody had grabbed a quote of his. He's a doctor of natural medicine. He's a chemist and is his PhD in chemistry. And he's also an aromatherapist, and he does the education, the Center for Aromatherapy Research and Education. So he says there are no scientific studies to verify the validity of the statement that if you don't like the smell of an essential oil, that means you need it. That statement is based on observation. Now, I'm big on observation and anecdote because that's where that is the foundation of what naturopathy has been able to do to show us how to live our lives, observing nature, observing animals in nature, and so forth. So he goes on to say, when an oil stirs up unpleasantness, that is usually a sign that toxins are being stirred up, either chemical toxins or emotional ones. It isn't the oil that is unpleasant. It is the toxic substances or emotions that are unpleasant. So when they have been cleared, then the oil smells okay. That is the theory and the thinking behind the statement, but has not been rigorously proven by the scientific method. And I can tell you it would be really almost impossible to prove that by any kind of method. Man, I have some stories about my own, with the oils that I did not like at all.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Yeah, so it piqued my interest because it talked about supporting healthy sleep patterns, and that really piqued my interest. So I thought, I'm going to go ahead and try it anyway. And bottoms of my feet, I thought was far enough away from my nose.
That's a good place, right, to start at the bottom of the feet, because it's going to go through the whole body anyway. Even with just a drop or two can hit all those cells.
Yeah, right. In just a matter of a couple minutes, it's from your feet to your top of your head. But that's the oil that rocked my world. And
so
that
what were you feeling when after you applied? Was it just like the first time? Because I know for me it was, but not with Peace and Calming, but with lavender. So
yeah, for me, I slept like I don't remember I ever slept before. I woke up refreshed and energized, which to me was like unheard of. Like that was when my husband and I fought every morning. He's like, get up out of bed. And I don't want to get up because I wouldn't sleep all night long. But so that to me was amazing. And so that started me into really my wellness journey for myself, was being curious about that particular one. And so, yeah, it's just been amazing. And then I just started bringing more and more into my everyday. And it really transformed me. It transformed me.
I had negative experiences with those. I know I was always kind of open to whole health, natural health, although not totally sold out on all, because I didn't know. I'm a farmer, vet tech, right? So I was pretty firmly entrenched in my thinking with animal health, but not with human health. So I was one of those, Kathy, that, saw the human. I'd always exercised. I've always wanted to eat good foods and well, but didn't do perfect. Obviously I didn't. I mean, I wouldn't be in this right here, what I'm doing now, if I had everything perfect, I think. But I just, was, kind of, my experiences was from the health food store, essential oils. I thought, oh man, those are awful. I tried tea tree oil for my skin. And I was like, oh man, that stuff's nasty. And the clouds are going here, so that's why my screen darkened up. There's clouds going. Sorry about that. I'm sitting in the dark. Okay, I'll sit real close. So what happened was I started. I don't know. I was searching for my dog. What happened was he started is my dog Shadrach, who was a Neapolitan Mastiff. He's since passed on, and he had come to me as a rescue. I'm going to flip a light on. You guys don't go away. Yeah, maybe that's better. I don't know. Yeah, at least I'm not in the total dark here because the clouds are coming over. But I felt like because he had been so abused and so starved and so all these issues, and we had constant health issues with him, and he was showing me things that he was just not thriving with any kind of a conventional approach at all. And all of my training was like out the window, right?
Yeah.
And so I started noticing, I thought, okay, he's starting to look better. He's seeming better. We're doing a few little things here. Fur was missing, starting to miss on either side. And I started with a patch and then on either side of his sides. Take him to the vet, fall back on my conventional stuff. They do a scraping. They do all kinds of stuff, right? Like there's nothing wrong. There's no mange. There's no nothing. There's no demon. There's no kind of skin issues. But let's just give him some antibiotics orally and topically. Yeah, he reacted. Aspirated vomit into his lungs through a reaction as he's sick. And we end up in the emergency hospital. So we have, 3 times the vet bill. And I said, that is it. I'm done. And what they did to him at that emergency clinic was so awful. What had happened to him there, with him, pooping on himself and them not cleaning him up and his legs swollen up and all kinds of things. And so I said, okay, I got really, really angry. And I think it's okay to be angry if you find a way to channel it in a positive way. You know what I'm saying?
Release.
And I didn't for a long time. I was just angry. I was on a mission to let everybody know how rotten that was, right? it developed into blogging and into doing Animal Talk Naturally with Jeannie. But what happened was I started searching and really researching and reading and doing my homework and starting to learn about those laws of health. And I found this ancient healing arts place online, and that's how I found my sponsor in Young Living. And he starts telling me, well, just try these 2 products. And I said, essential oils? Really? I don't know about that. And he goes, tell you what, I'll just send these to you. It's a shampoo and the ointment, which is really a conditioner, a skin conditioner. And I said, well, what have I got to lose? He sent them to me. I opened up this and, it's strong with patchouli, right? And I went, whoa, man, truly patchouli. Never smelled patchouli like that before. And in the meantime, my husband figured out, and this is where we talk about a toxic chemical-free lifestyle so much. This is why I'm so adamant about that, Kathy, is that we had freshly painted our house and Shadrach was leaning up against the walls, which he always leaned on everything. It was lean, everything. So we had leaned. When we quit letting him do that and we used these, the skin cleared up, no more drugs needed, no more all of that. And I started going on this mission to learn about these toxic chemicals that we use in our homes to clean with and to, to paint with, what our furniture's off gassing. And I started really, really learning about that and learning about that whole health, holistic lifestyle for him. And of course, then it affected me and my husband. And we have totally changed. 180-degree change from before. And because of him, I didn't buy into the oils and everything right away. I was like still trying to be a skeptic, right? So I joined some online, at the time we only had Yahoo. So I joined some groups, started reading, started seeing all of the things that people were having, all the benefits they were receiving. I went, So I ordered we didn't have all these kits back then that were so awesome. I ordered a basic kit and all it had was some peppermint and lavender in there. I opened up the lavender. It was my first thing because peppermint, I was like, what am I going to do with that? Right. And I opened up the lavender and I went, wow, I've never smelled lavender like this before. I put it on me. It was at night before I went to bed. Boom, like you, slept like a baby. I was like, wow, this rocks. And then that was it. That was the end of that. That's when that was it.
Wow. Right? Oh my gosh. I know. It's just amazing how the different exposures that we get will kind of lead us. And sometimes we kind of have to hit almost rock bottom with certain things for us to. Yeah.
And Shadrach was the funniest dog. I don't have dogs that do this now, but he was very expressive, had lots of facial expressions. If you'll remember, Kathy, all the photos I took of him and on the videos of him. And, neo-mastiffs are that way anyway. But I would put an oil in front of him like this, and he would go. He would sniff, right, and he liked it. If he wasn't, if for whatever reason, if I had a diffuser on the floor for him, he would be right in front of it, sniffing, inhaling. Never had dogs do that before him. Since then. They don't mind it. But he was like actively saying, hello, follow me this way. This is good stuff. So yeah, which I think segues into the abundance portion of this, don't you?
Absolutely. And it's funny that you mentioned that. I remember, well, I've been using this, and I think it was February 12th, and then I learned about it was the essential oil abundance, and that wasn't a word that was really common in my life at the time. Like, I was like, abundance. Okay, what's
unless
that
it was
about?
abundant hassle. I don't know, abundant struggle or whatever. And we still have those, but we face them differently, I think.
Exactly. And so I remember I got that. I'm like, well, what's that about? And then it was talking about frequencies, law of attraction. And I'm like, oh, it must be like something that attracts the opposite sex to you. It's like a romantic thing. Like,
it could. I mean, if that was your intention, right? I mean, it could. Yeah, you know.
Oh, I don't know about that. I smell it. Yeah. I'm like, it smells really good. So, but that all of a sudden, all these things started coming to me about frequencies and, into my experience. And I thought that is really interesting, because this oil that I really didn't know what that meant, all of a sudden these things started coming, and I started listening to, like, you and Jeannie started talking about it. And I was like, wow, but it's really interesting, the frequencies and what we think about, we bring about. And
I think if people don't understand that, our lives are, we have electrical current through us, right? And I always use the Frankenstein analogy. Remember when he was making the monster, when Dr. Frankenstein was creating the monster and putting all the parts together, and then he zapped him with some electricity. And then he moved and he went, it's alive, it's alive. He's all like, yikes. Well, that's exactly how the frequencies are in our body. So we have a class now, Kathy, that people can go and check out for free. It's oilysymphony.com. And our other Blab on Emotions is linked in there too. So.
Oh yeah, and it's awesome. There's such cool and interesting information in there.
So it talks about how they balance and bring harmony to the body systems, to our emotions, all of it. I mean, there's like audios, videos, and written material. There are graphics, lots of graphics to bring a visual to your eyes for what this is doing in our lives and in our bodies. And this is why we share this so openly and all the time. There's that abundance thing. I often say that, people can experience the oils, and then they can, once you experience them like us, you want to share them. And then once you're sharing them, you're thinking, yeah, not only are you getting them for free, but you're generating an income at the same time. So.
Yeah, and it looks different to a lot of people. I know that, some people call it the
wellness first. Yeah.
Yeah, the wellness and your purpose. That's why. Why are you into it? Some people it's their children. Some people it's their animals. Some people it's for their health or their family's health. It's the purpose is different for a lot of people. But it is about wellness, purpose, and abundance. And that abundance piece of it, a lot of people have a negative mindset attached to that. And that could be about upbringing. And I know that was me. I was brought up with a very lack mentality. And so that was something to really overcome. And, still I think there's times when I struggle with it, but a lot of people have a negative thought or mindset towards abundance. But if you could be open to that, and the thing that's great about it is that you're just sharing naturally. You're sharing and giving people the option, the choice to make informed decisions for their health. And in doing so, some people call it the accidental paycheck, right? Because they're just sharing,
yeah, they do, right?
Yeah, because some people you're just sharing like, oh, there's a great movie, you got to see it, or this restaurant, it's just sharing like that. It's naturally because you're getting excited about what you're experiencing with this lifestyle. And next thing they know, they're getting a paycheck in the mail. They're like, what? But whether you're doing it intentionally or not, the opportunity is there. And what better way to receive, abundance into your life than by sharing and giving other people hope? and
I
just
think,
being.
I like what Jim Rohn says too, and this is what I do encourage people to do always, no matter where I'm sharing, if I'm sharing in a podcast or sharing like here on Blab or in a video or a Periscope, wherever, I always say, be a student and not a follower. Don't just go do what someone says. You don't have to take our word for it. Take interest in what they say, then debate it, ponder it, and consider it from all angles, and then step out and test it and see if it proves out true for you. I know I'm that kind of a person that has to do that. And I've been really questioning my why, Kathy. Why? What is this whole? I get the purpose, but my why has been since the age of 8. And I always said it this way first. I want animals and people to be well. I've caught myself saying lately, people and animals, not because I've made animals lesser, but because I realize the people are going to determine if their animals that are in their care, their companion animals that are in their care, aren't going to be well unless they make that decision for themselves and for those animals. So I'm focusing on the people, helping them to be well. And I don't say get well or strive and all of this and focus on illness. So it's always a focus on wellness, always a focus on being that through a decision, through a conscious decision that you make, an attitude that you have, a focus that you have to live well, mind, body, and spirit. And for me, it has been all of it, following those laws of health. And obviously for me, the oils play a huge role because of what's being done all around us, to our food supply, to our air, to the products in our home, all of those things. I have to make a conscious and concerted effort to decide, am I going to allow myself to be a victim? No. I'm going to take charge and take control and make those decisions for my health and that of my animals, and not allow somebody to dictate to me and surrender to that. That's my decision.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I love how you put that. And it's true, because what we're talking about, like so many have said, is living above that wellness line. And living above that wellness line is action towards vitality, longevity, abundance, happiness, and a lot of thought and conversation around that. And then everything below it is just the opposite. And it's been seen that those who talk most of
like
illness,
a vampire sucking that life out of you, right?
Yeah. Those who talk most of illness get more of it. And those who talk more of vitality and happiness get more of that. So it's a mind shift, because we're so used today. So many people have dis-ease. So it's just, there's conversation around that, or the news. There's such negative conversation in the news.
That's all by design. That's by design. So I don't watch the news.
Exactly.
I don't read the newspaper. I take total control over what I allow to go, let my eyes see and go into my mind. Because
focus what you want.
Right, because it's going to have bearing on the outcome of my own thoughts, which then become my emotions, which then become my feelings and my actions, right?
Absolutely.
They become your actions. So I don't want that. So I have to choose through, I'm not going to just, I see this happening a lot today. I don't know. Well, how come you don't know? You have to decide to know. You have to decide to take that, take back control of your health, be in charge of that. And that of your animals too. Your animals depend on you. They don't really have a choice, because if you turn them loose, they're going to go for what's their nature needs to do more than just survive. They want to thrive, just like we do. Yeah. And it's up to us to make that concerted. If you choose to bring them into your life, then you've made the decision to also choose to care for them according to their needs, according to their species, according to what will help them thrive. You want a companion that can thrive, not something you're carting off to the doctor all the time, and getting nowhere. So all of that, my dog Shadrach was pivotal in helping me to learn that. And then again, yours were as well. So Mischief, right? It was Mischief that taught you that.
I wear his name around my neck because it's meant so much to me. He was my teacher dog. And it helped transform my life. Yeah, absolutely.
You can have a teacher bird. You can have a teacher cat. You can have a teacher horse. You can have a teacher whatever. It can be your child that teaches you. God forbid. I mean, I hope that we would just make that decision now and take charge of that. And then when you realize that you don't also have to, people don't heal their finances now. Oh, I live in for the weekend, right? And then you're just thinking about that. And Mondays, and after the weekend, Mondays, that's your thought. And Fridays, all you're thinking about is the weekend. But what about your life? Where are you living? Most people today don't live life. They just exist.
Absolutely.
And that was a quote by Oscar Wilde, who said that. We got to live our lives, and you've got to live them by making that conscious decision. There's going to be work involved. I'm not going to lie to anybody. There's no pie in the sky here. There's work involved. But man, what an awesome way to live, helping others to also be well, both physically, not both, all physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially. You don't have to be a victim to your job or to your, those limited finances, but you will have to work to get out there. I do, you do, Kathy. We are, this is our free time out here sharing with others, so that others can receive the benefit of what we have received. My biggest desire is to see people not be a slave to the system and to be free from that, so they can be well, so their animals can be well. And it's all right. Starts right here.
It does, and it's a mind shift. It's a mind shift to live above that wellness line. And it's a mind shift to embrace all that. And sometimes it takes a lot of times it takes a lot of practice, I'll have to say, to get into the habit of doing that, because a lot of people, and I was one of them, who was in the habit of the opposite.
I want to talk about you for a minute, Kathy. I want to talk about you. Because when we met through the radio show, through the podcast, as you started coming in, listening, and we friended each other on Facebook. And yeah, we're still on Facebook. I don't know, there was something about her. I never saw her with a picture. There's no way she would have been doing a blab or periscopes, because you have a periscope called WakingKathy. You wouldn't have done, I even used to say, what do you look like? And then you finally started a Facebook page with your essential oils. And I saw her hair. It was kind of hanging like this. And I said, is that your hair? Where's your face? But your hair's awesome. Where's your face? I want to see your face. And I used to have these private PM messages with you about, I see you. Your dog sees you. You're cute. Yes, love you, Mom. I see you. And I don't know, somehow you stepped out and just opened all of that back up. I know the story behind the story and all that caused you to lock yourself away. And then you released yourself again. Here you are, and rocking it. Rocking awesome woman, you.
Yeah, it's been an awesome journey. And I was just actually telling people this yesterday, that what if you and Jeannie were not sharing on Animal Talk Naturally?
Or what if I kept it to myself, you mean? Or what if she kept it to herself?
Very different today.
Yeah.
My
because
life
we didn't charge for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I am so thankful that you guys showed up and put yourself out there to share. I am forever grateful. I mean, I know that I've told you before, and I would get like tears, literally, because it's been that life-changing for me. And so I feel an obligation now. I would do it here and there, but I said, you know what?
But do you think it's an obligation? Do you think it's an obligation, or do you think it's? I think it's more than an obligation. I think it's such a privilege and such a joy to be able to share with others what has benefited us and helped us. I'm healthier now in my 50s than I was in my 30s.
Yes, that's how I feel.
Why wouldn't I want other people to experience that? Because people at my age group, they're always on a multitude of medications and not living their lives thriving. They're not happy, and they're stuck. They're stuck often. I mean, I have friends that have businesses, so they're actually living their dreams and their joy, right? But I have friends also that aren't, or family members that aren't, and it's up to them to decide. I can't make that decision for them, right? A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. But I can share that with them, and I feel like it's a joy to when somebody wants to receive it. If they don't, shake the dust from your feet and move on, because there's not much you can do to convince somebody. You know, what are we here for, Kathy? To share fact. We're not here to convince anybody, just to share the facts of our lives, our stories, and what has benefited us. And we hope that those listening and watching would also, if you haven't already embraced your own dreams and passions, you still can. And it doesn't matter how old or young you are. Really, it doesn't. That is all just, you know, somebody trying to stop you from. What about the tiny frog story? Have we told the tiny frog story?
I don't think so.
Remember the tiny frog story? I have it in our group. It's in a nutshell, tiny frogs. Okay, there was tiny frogs, all these little tiny frogs, and they were going to have a big competition. And the competition was who made it to the top of this building was the winner. And then they got the grand prize. There was only one prize, a grand prize, you know, right, to get to be the one who gets to the top of this building. And so all the little other frogs were on looking and cheering them on, yay! And all these little guys started out, and they start going up. And they start going up, and they start going up, and all of a sudden, some looked around, and they were hearing the crowd going, "You're gonna fall! Oh no, be careful! Yeah, it's scary! Oh no, don't do it!" And slowly but surely, each one dropped off, all but one. And the one made it all the way to the top, never looked back, never stopped his journey. But when he was interviewed by the press, they asked him, "What's your secret?" And he goes, "What? I can't hear you. I'm deaf." But the moral of the story was, don't listen to the naysayers, right? Just go.
Absolutely. It's great.
Stay who you are. You know I'm a weirdo blue. I don't know if you've talked about the personalities before, Kathy, but I'm a weirdo, tribe weirdo, and blue, and I'm owning that. Finally, the weird animal girl. When I was growing up, I was called the weird animal girl. Okay, so that's my Periscope handle. Weird, no, not weird, but animal girl. So owning who you are, right? To stepping into that, right?
Yeah.
So have you talked about the personalities at all?
I don't think we have on Blab. I don't think we did.
Well, and there's all kinds of different tests, and every one I've taken, I turn out, to be a certain thing. And I've taken the disc test and the jungle animal test and the animal test one, and I've taken the colors. So there's red, blue, yellow, and green. And my short version of that is red is show me the money, blue is show me the fun, yellow is show me the love, and green is show me the research. So that's kind of how I put it all in a nutshell. And then we're all rainbows, so we all have all of the colors, but there's a dominant color. And for me, it's blue. And I think for you, you're kind of yellow.
Yeah, I'm definitely yellow
but
dominant.
You're blue and yellow for sure.
I'm blue.
Yeah, a lot of people. You like to have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so true. That is so true.
So I guess the abundance part of this, or the purpose part of this, is figure out what your why is. And then from there, you can figure out where you want to find your abundance. I hope you guys join us. Some of you do, even just because you want to be well, just because you want that be well focus in your life.
Yeah,
go ahead. You go.
No, you go ahead.
No, you.
Well, I just want to say, something I believe is that when you make informed choices to support your health naturally, it doesn't have to be boring, and it doesn't have to be difficult, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And I say that a lot to people because I think people get stuck on especially the difficult and perfect part of it. And it's about being the best you can be and doing the best you can every day. Because I know that I'll do things, especially on the holidays or vacation. My hair's down and I'm getting cray, and there's nothing perfect about what I'm doing, but I don't beat myself up over it. I get right back into my lifestyle because I know that's what serves my body, and my body will tell me, okay, you keep this up, and you could tell your body, if you listen to your body, that you've been doing, but It's about just getting right back on it. And don't be so hung up on I have to be a granola, crunchy person. You don't have to be that. Just make changes in a positive way and be the best you can be for yourself. So go ahead.
I like the word excellence. You can go for excellence, but perfectionism, no, that's going to stop you.
And that creates a resistant energy.
Yeah, it does. It does. You can go for excellence, and that's something I'm really working on, Kathy. It's really, Jeannie and I, with running a business together, her and I run an animal naturopathy school together, and the challenge there is our personalities and our thing. She's green, a lot of green and yellow in her, you know, and here I am with the blue, right? And so where's our red? We need some red person in there. Somebody that's going to manage all the business stuff for us, right? But she is, she wants to analyze everything. And I'm like, let's just jump, let's leap, and then look for danger later, right? You know, and so we struggle with all that. But what we're learning to do is to not only be authentic in who we are, but to let go of those things that we have no control over and just trust the process. How many times did we hear that in that boot camp we did, Kathy? Trust the process. That was really hard for me. I'm like, what does that mean? You know? And really it's not trying to force anything or the outcome of anything, just being who you are, being authentic and not freaking out over all of those things that get in our way to scare us, or I can't be like that person. I can't do that as good as her. I can't be like him. Or so be like you, be the best you. And for me, what has truly helped me in that area has been the emotions essential oils. That's why we talk about it, because that's what has helped me.
Yes.
It just has, you know, and I don't have any scientific logic behind it or any kind of, you know, double blind study stuff to show you guys or any of that kind of thing. I just know that it's worked for me.
And those greens can go find that information.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why we did that one symphony class, so that people would have a resource to go and look at and have something to kind of get their minds wrapped around some of this and define their way, their purpose in life. And for purpose, I think what's hard for a lot of people is understanding the difference between your your vehicle versus your which is your what versus what's your why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to go for it? Why do you want to have that abundance? Why that purpose? And I think I watched this great video by Michael J, not Michael Jackson, but Michael J. And he is a comedian. And he said that he used a really great analogy in his little, I think you've seen the video. I've shared it on our group before, Kathy. And anyway, he was sitting there, you know, he breaks out in his stand-up comic, sits down, and he'll have like conversation with the audience just to see where people are at. And he picked on one guy, this great big man that was a music teacher at his school. And this music teacher, he said, "Can you sing?" And he went, "I can sing." And he goes, "Okay, so sing me a tune." So he sang him the first verse of Amazing Grace. So he sang it like everybody sings Amazing Grace, pretty much the same tune and everything. He goes, "Now I want you," that was his what? That was his vehicle. He goes, "Now I want you to sing it like your uncle just got out of prison. You got shot in the back as a kid." He goes, "Bring the hood to it, right? Bring the hood to it." Oh man, it's like a difference between night and day, because he was like Amazing Grace. You know, he was just like, and he was rocking it, right? Total soul. You know, passion coming out. That was your why. He goes, "That's the difference between your why and your what." And I think that when we can get that down, there ain't nothing stopping you.
That is so true. That is so true.
So get that down, and then we're rolling. We're on that. You know, remember the song from back in the day, Kathy? This is silly. This is how my mind works, right? "Love Train" by the OJs. Get on the love train. Love train. Okay, I can't sing, but I want to. I wanted to be a singer so bad, but see, I realize I ain't got the voice. But anyway, a whole other blab. Anyway, I don't know if you want to ask people to come and ask or whatever or what do, but we're done. I know I'm done anyway, so blabbing away here.
Yeah, I want to open it if anyone wants to join in the seat and share with us your story, or if you have any questions, and just chat.
We're not seeing any. Yeah, no questions. I'm not seeing anything today scrolling or anything. It's pretty weird the way it's set up today. I don't know why.
There's a couple of questions here from HR Knows One. I'm not too sure. I think she's gone. Oh, you dropped off. Let me put you back in.
I'm back. See, that's what I do. I click buttons and stuff.
Yeah, they disappear.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look like anyone. Oh, let's see. We got some.
Because I'm not seeing any questions unless you guys are, I don't know. I don't see anything coming in for some reason this time.
Yeah,
The
which is
last time.
fine. It's, it's people there. We're just going to share and continue to share, and something might click with someone, and you never know.
That's okay. You guys don't have to come in here. You don't have to be on the spot. You don't have to be in the hot seat. That's totally okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just be who you are, so whatever. I'm just glad that we got this opportunity to share and to be here with people. And I'm so glad that you let us use your profile, Kathy, so that we can, share with yours.
Yeah, well, I thank you for joining me, so I have someone
to babble. If they can come to convention with us, there's the Young Living Conventions in Mona, Utah. I'm sorry, it's in Salt Lake City, Utah, and then we go to the Mona Farm on the last day. But it's in Salt Lake City, Utah, in June, the end of June. I think the 21st to the 25th or something like that. But we usually go a day early, and we're leaving a day late because our team is having a party. Then we really get to hang out and have a good time and get to know each other. And what you see here with Kathy, she's the same way in person. She's a lot of fun too. You're fun. I know you are. You're a real, totally authentic person, Kathy. And remember, I see you.
I know. You always saw me, huh? When I didn't see me, you saw me.
Always have seen you. And so anyway, you guys want to hang with us in real life, then that's where we're going to be in June, at the end of June. Hopefully Kathy can make it. I don't know about your schedule, but.
Oh, I'm going.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. I got my ticket. I'm going.
It's the party. We get to be blue. Ooh.
Right?
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Well, thank you for letting me be with you on your blab. We got to blab a lot today.
Yeah, we did get to blab. And thank you all of those who have joined us and listened and, follow us. And maybe, one day you'll want to join us in the hot seat and share with us. So,
and they can connect to us on Facebook too. So, yeah. And I'm I'm Kim Bloomer in New Mexico, but I think how you do your profiles under Dr. Kim Bloomer, and then you're still Kathy Lacey, right?
Yeah, Kathy Lacey, and then Periscope is WakingKathy, just as it is here.
Yeah, mine's at Doc Kim. I think it's still the same. I'm going by Animal Girl on Periscope.
There you go, and that's so fitting.
Yeah, if I could keep that little one right there, I would. You have to give her a kiss for me.
Yeah, she's a little scruff.
Face. She's ready to kiss.
Yeah, she's like stretching. She's like, stretch my belly.
She's too cute. Well, I hope you guys all took some value away from what we shared today. And if you ever want to join us in Young Living, trust me, it's a blast. It is. It's work. It is. But it's like the most abundant. That's why we talk about wellness, purpose, and abundance. To be well. And I am seeing so many of my team members all on their own decide, because of the community we have, to take all those steps of wellness, not just using things, to fix things, but to embrace the whole health lifestyle. And that is what truly gets me excited when I start to see people doing that, removing the toxic chemicals from their lives and their animals' lives, and embracing a whole health, nutritious, fun lifestyle. And we do have fun because, why? Because we're well. That's why.
It is. It's such a great supportive community. It's really a kick-ass community. I love it. It's amazing.
It is totally.
It's just a lot of fun.
It is.
It's a lot of fun.
It's perfect for us. And now for those who like the research, there's lots of that going on. I mean, so many classes going on. There's the Nature's Remedies School, and there's the Beauty School, and all of its learning and all of that stuff. For the yellows, there's lots of love going on. And for those who are red, they'll show you the money. You're going to work. But the payout is really, truly abundant.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. And thanks so much, Kim.
My pleasure.
Okay, everyone have a nice rest of your Sunday, and we'll be back.
Well.
Yes, you will. Okay. Bye-bye. I'm going to stop this recording here.